I can fortify myself, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's something about being a Mississippian and not being able to do pranks. Mississippians have the inability to do pranks. We don't do pranks because it'll either A, get you shot, or
You'll get
B,
beat
lose
up.
your friend. Yeah. I mean, like, you will get hurt for playing pranks in Mississippi as a child.
Yeah.
So,
Eventually.
I mean,
even on a bigger kid or something like that, you're going to get chased down.
yeah.
Yeah. It really depends on what kind of pranks you're wanting to play, too. Because when I was a lot younger in, like, some more suburban areas, I did occasionally do the ding-dong ditch thing where you...
I did
that's
those
hardly,
all the time.
That's hardly a prank, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's the most bare-bones basic shit. You know?
Yeah.
And when you're, 10 or under, you're generally not going to get in any kind of serious trouble
Sure.
with
But,
it,
like,
you
let's
know.
say, I don't know, you dead leg somebody.
Yeah.
Well, that's just hitting someone. Like, that's a bad prank.
Yeah, it's not a very good
You're
prank.
just punching someone in a sensitive area or something. That's not...
Yeah, punching a dude in the
like,
nuts.
kicking
dude,
someone
best
in the
prank.
nuts isn't a prank.
Best
it's like,
prank ever.
No, but, like, dead legging someone's a lot closer.
Oh, welcome to the AnythingCast, by the way. I'm Patrick.
I'm Eric.
And I'm dead leg Will.
Dead Leg Will,
Yeah.
finally,
Mhm.
on the podcast again.
Back from my pirating adventures.
I heard you've got a son out there. He's riding with Jack Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
Or wait, was Will was
No.
the son? Will
Yeah,
was the son.
Will
Yeah,
Turner
yeah.
was the son. Bootstrap Bill.
Turner.
Yeah,
Bootstrap
Bill
Oh, yeah.
Turner.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Bill and Will. Mm-hmm.
Why was he called Bootstrap again?
because they tied his bootstraps together to a cannonball and then shot him with a cannonball. No, they tied his bootstraps to
They
a cannonball.
tied his bootstraps to a weight and threw him overboard.
Yeah, and threw him overboard.
What it was doesn't matter. They threw him overboard and drowned him.
Yeah,
But actually, I think he was Bootstrap Bill before then.
yeah.
Like, that was just his nickname.
I would be better at pranks in general if, like, I'd have to think that other people wouldn't get mad at me, basically.
You'd have to not be in Mississippi.
Yeah, basically. I'd have to be, like, in a situation where I'm like, yeah, people aren't going to, I mean, they'll understand I'm goofing.
It's like anything you would see in Jackass wouldn't fly in, like, the vast majority of the world, but in that small circle, those guys can do pretty extreme pranks to each other and not get mad, except Bam.
Yeah, except Bam. But, yeah.
Or was it Bam's mom that was always upset?
Oh, well, yes.
Bam's mom
I
and dad.
imagine both of Bam's parents were probably a little upset.
Bam!
You put
an alligator in the kitchen, Bam!
Or that time he just ran
I
into...
always loved those scenes.
I had a weird
Come
happiness
on,
watching
Bam.
those two. He'd like run into his dad's bathroom when he was taking a shit and just beat the shit
come
out
on,
of him.
Bam, I'm taking a shit, Bam.
Like he just
come
slapped
on.
the fuck out of his fat ass
Come on,
dad.
Bam.
I don't know why those scenes always make me laugh.
It was something about him, man. I don't know what it was.
Would you
That
guys
was-
have been able to be in Jackass?
Maybe,
Me? No.
but not
Really,
really.
no?
My parents were way too...
No, I mean, like, if you had been, like, if Bam Margera came to you and it was like, I want you to be in Jackass, and Jackass 1 has come out, he wants you to be in Jackass
okay.
2. You've already seen Jackass 1. Would you be like, yeah, I'll be in Jackass?
I mean, it depends
Man.
on what they want me to do, but I, have
know,
to
like,
admit the
if
temptation would be strong.
If it's like you're the shit volcano, maybe. But like if I'm on the seesaw getting hit by a bull, that's a little hard to swallow.
Nothing
Yeah.
death-defying.
Nothing death-defying. Okay.
Yeah, but like,
yeah, I
but
could
like,
probably do it, yeah.
yeah, but like, worst case scenario, you get your cock bit by a snake or something.
Mm.
You know, like, that's worst case scenario.
That's the
And
worst.
It was a
case
pretty
scenario.
small snake, and he did have a lot of wrapping on his penis.
Exactly.
He had a pretty big penis.
Yeah.
He had a decent-sized flaccid dong, yeah.
I mean, it
admittedly.
made a convincing mouse.
I mean, he might have like fluffed it up a little bit beforehand, Hollywood, but yeah, I mean,
Sure.
it was respectable for sure.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so porn stars.
Mm-hmm.
So when they fluff it up, they jack off a little, get like semi-soft and whatever.
Yeah, half hard. I guess.
Semi-hard, not
Yeah.
semi-soft. You don't jack off. Hold on, let me get soft real quick.
Yeah, when they get semi-hard.
I'll say if you jack it to the
How
point where
long
they get
can they
soft
keep
again.
that? Is there like a practice method, or are they doing drugs?
They're doing drugs. You take Viagra.
It's multiple things. Like sometimes depending on the porno, like you might like come multiple times before the end of the actual shoot.
Yeah.
And they just cut that part out and skip to the next section of fucking.
yeah,
Like,
and
because-
all the cum's fake anyways.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I've
maybe
heard that.
it just depends. Again, like,
Generally, unless you haven't come in the day, then yeah, the cum's gonna be fake because they gotta get a fucking big load in the woman. So, like, unless you
I've heard of that.
Have
Yeah.
you seen that cum fountain guy? Who just like
have I seen the cum fountain
There's
guy?
a cum fountain
Eric.
guy.
dude comes like a gallon. It is
What?
like it shoots out and it's just
All right,
like
I don't want people to think it's too weird that I know this, but like a horse.
almost like it gushes out. Like all the women are always a little surprised. Like
I was
I
a little
would
bit
be
turned on.
You can tell-
I see a little chub in his pants.
You can
right
tell
now.
they were like-
if you could come like a horse.
you can tell they were like told that he comes a lot, and they're just like, "Ha! Oh, there it is. Oh my God, there's more. Oh my, there's so much." Like you
For the
know,
audience, what's this man's name? We have to know.
I don't know his name, but
Patrick,
I promise
put up the cum
you,
fountain guy's name.
if
There
you're
you go.
determined, you can find him. It won't take you too long. But
That
he
is wild.
he
All
is
right,
a
viewers,
gusher.
I know what we're watching tonight. We're watching some gushers.
Me and you, dude.
Yeah,
Hell
dude.
yeah.
Now I know what you guys do when I leave. Okay.
Yeah, now you
Hey,
know.
we've watched porn together.
we have.
Fair enough.
One of the first few times we hung out, actually, we watched porn together.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think you've shown me porn several times.
well, I
so
mean, we
that's-
were, you know, a little bit more intimate than that time.
If you're
but
friends
yeah.
with Patrick, he will eventually put a porno on,
And it
you
will be the
watch
one where two obese bitches are fucking some weird alien little guy.
You got hard. Don't don't pretend like you didn't. You came just as much as I did that
and
night.
just as hard.
Yeah.
An entire gallon.
At the same time.
Two 400-pound Vietnamese women fucking one quadriplegic
I was just
amputee.
showing him. I was showing him like two old women come for midget surprise or something. I don't remember what it was
it
called.
was
kinda
like two
close
fat
there.
women.
Yeah, I mean, there was just two fat lesbians. I heard it was just a video I heard about on Oni Plays.
Yeah, and they fucked this like a little like straight up. He looks like a little alien dude.
Yeah, he was just a little
Like,
alfalfa
and, like, he doesn't
midget
even.
guy.
He looks like a puppet. He interacts.
He
with
doesn't
him like
look
a puppet.
real,
He's
yeah.
like,
Oh yeah, I've seen a few of those where the other person was like questionably there. I was just like, this person looks very disabled. Are
I
you
love
sure
when,
that like that
there's-
was okay?
I love when there's a
Like-
video of like the guy and the girl, but then you can tell the penis is super fake, like it's a dildo penis.
Right, and then those are some of the real gushers are those.
Yes.
Like, yeah, and you could tell too, because like, especially if it's one of those first person things where you never actually see the guy. And it's completely from the first person.
Yeah, POV.
And there's a dick, but like, you know, and then it like
It's just
the
off
coming
color.
motion is off.
You know
like,
what's the
it
problem?
looks
with those?
wrong and it comes wrong. Like it comes out and like they're clearly, and if you look, because I looked into this because I thought that's what was, God damn it, I thought that's what was happening for the longest time, and I looked, and if you look, you can always see that like they're actually alone when they're doing this, and they put one of their hands and like, you know, press a pump of
Yeah.
some sort that pumps the
Yeah,
fake
of
cum
course.
out.
Have you seen the famous video of that girl who supposedly ate herself out?
I've met women who can do that.
That's not.
The video, by the way,
That's not
listeners,
physically
is
possible,
called
Eric.
"Horny Lesbians Get a Grandpa Midget Surprise," and I've put it on in the background so that
You would
Eric
have
has
to-
to look at it
You
while
would
the
have to
podcast
break
goes.
your fucking spine, much like sucking your own dick.
Yes.
You would have to literally break your spine.
Now, that's not to say that there aren't some, you know, genetically unique individuals.
Oh, Unique individuals.
I'm saying there's
Some
not. You would
freaks.
have to seriously. In order for a woman to eat herself out biologically, you would have to physically break your spine in half.
Nah, I don't think that's true.
Not in
Yes,
half,
absolutely.
I don't think so.
No,
Because
dude,
I mean, I've
there's-
sucked my own dick before. It
Yeah.
can't be that much further.
yeah, like it's possible.
What, you
It-
saying you never sucked your own dick?
you just
Nah,
have
I'm
to
way too small.
have you just have to have a long enough spine.
I'm like
and,
Chihuahua
like,
size,
you know,
dude.
it-
Chihuahua size?
I don't know exactly what the limit would be, but there are people who can do that. It's not common. Like most people physically, as you just said, can't do it. You know, that's true for sure, but there are exceptions to that rule.
Yeah, well, I'd like to meet her.
I mean,
I'd like to eat her. You
Dude,
know?
there,
Okay.
She
there
can
are
do it
people who are
herself.
born with. I mean, there are people who are born with two penises, but if you see a porno that has a guy with two penises, you shouldn't assume it's real. Just because it's possible
Naga
does not
men be
mean it's
like-
real. Like, you know,
If you had two cocks, would you be
oh
happy or
Jesus
upset?
fucking Christ, there he is.
Yeah, doesn't he look so weird?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
so
look at him.
scary.
Fuck me.
The grandpa-
Oh, he creeps up on them. God.
He's so weird.
The grandpa
Oh, I
midget
see
surprise
it.
has shown up.
Wait till you see his face.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no, I don't
His face is
want
better.
to. Oh.
His face is so. It's so.
He's got a
alien,
little
dude.
fucking.
Oh, Jesus. He looks like a monkey.
He's got a little fucking peanut cock.
I thought
too.
his eyes were bigger.
I mean, they're pretty fucking big. I don't know what you're on about. He looks like fucking Bilbo Baggins.
Looks like Gollum. What are you talking about? Oh my god!
Like Bilbo
You're somewhat of a
right in between Bilbo Baggins and Gollum. He doesn't have gray skin, but like
I see your secrets.
we're definitely in the fucking right ballpark there. Oh Jesus fucking Christ! Ew.
How much were they paid?
Yeah.
You're not far from a halfling yourself, are you?
Also, to be fair, those women look pretty normal.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you
but
know,
they're
you said
having,
that
like,
they
the
were like
worst
big
time.
fat women and stuff
Maybe.
like
I mean,
that.
they're not fucking. You
I
know,
mean,
they're
they're
They
not
were
like-
fatter when I last saw it. They lost some
I
weight.
think you were a little pettier when you last saw it. Those women are not very big.
They
Like,
lost some weight.
honestly, I would consider both
Honestly,
of
the
them
blonde
like
is actually pretty skinny.
base
Ain't
level
gonna
fuckable.
lie.
Patrick, put up a picture of them. I'm saving this to the desktop.
Okay, yeah, you're
Just
gonna have to
blur
censor a lot
that,
of that.
and then
but-
blur that and then put it up
Oh, jeez.
so that people get a good idea of what
Patrick,
exactly it is
only
we're looking
blur-
at.
Like they look okay.
Only
I
blur
guess.
to the
They-
standards of the Japanese government.
Patrick, put up a picture of your own cock.
Patrick, bring that down. Put a picture of Pro Jared's cock.
Did you see Pro Jared put up a new video?
He did.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 14 review. It was like an hour and 15 minutes long.
I mean, you would need
Ah.
an hour and 15 minutes bare minimum just to talk about that
yeah, it's
fucking
a
game.
fucking MMO.
Yeah, it's an MMO.
It's
so,
an
I mean,
MMO.
it's an MMO that had a complete reboot too. That like started off with a god awful launch.
Me and Will
And
played
then-
Final Fantasy 10, and that was the only one he's ever played, I think.
That's
Really?
not true. We played 7.
We play 7?
Yeah.
Didn't you hate it?
I
no,
played.
I didn't hate it. I just, it's hard.
Oh, wait, you didn't like 7, and then I was like, 10's a little bit easier to watch, and then I played all through 10
well,
for
the thing
you.
is, it's not that I don't dislike the story or anything. I just don't like the gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, it's turn-based. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm okay with some turn-based. It's just like Final Fantasy's turn-based is a turn off.
Eric, you're like staring at the ceiling. I'm starting to think that, like, Eric,
10.
are you okay?
10.
I've played 10.
Okay.
I've played 10
Yeah.
different Final Fantasy games. I had to count them all in my head because I knew I missed 1 or 2 in the
I thought you were
middle
having
there.
a seizure.
Did you
I think
fight-
I've never played 5.
I'm going to go
fight Sin?
pee.
I played all the originals.
Why are you always peeing, dude?
Because I have a kidney fucking problem. You got a fucking problem?
damn,
What
get
did I tell
over-
you
get
about? I have
over
a
it. How
fucking
about that?
Shut up, Will. I have a kidney problem.
Can I have another one of your white
Just
walls?
pass your fucking stone, dude.
I don't have any, dude.
Oh, okay.
God
Sucks to be
damn.
you, dude.
Well, all right.
Pass your stone.
Yeah, go past that motherfucker.
Do you know a kidney stone slowly like goes through your kidney meat? Like there's like nothing there. It's just going through the meat.
I've heard that they're extremely uncomfortable
Yeah, I've heard that too.
and
Have
you
you
know,
ever pissed
potentially bad for
glass?
you. I have not. No.
Man, that hurts. I did once as a child.
You pissed glass?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know how. It just felt horrible.
I mean, I've had a bad time peeing once or twice.
yeah,
I've
but I
had
mean, like
pain
it
peeing.
feels like glass coming out of your penis.
Not quite that bad.
It-
No.
oh man, that was brutal. Let me tell you.
I've
Like
had
I had
one
to
or two.
stop in the middle, breathe,
Oh wow.
Yeah, it sucked.
Yeah, if I whack it a few too many times, sometimes I'll have a little bit of trouble peeing later. I guess because it's trying to. I got too much gunk in there from like
Too much
because I
gunk.
imagine there's like
You
a
haven't
little
gooned hard enough.
there's a little flap in there that like transitions from like the semen tube to the piss tube, and it just gets like stuck because I was gooning too hard, and then I have a bad time peeing later. That's happened to me before, yes. But before you transition to another topic, I've actually got a great one.
Okay.
So some sort of article where someone had just recently watched the new Shogun TV show. You know, based in 1600s Japan about this English dude who kind of landed there half on accident and ended up becoming, an advisor for some of the important dudes and whatnot. And he met the Shogun, blah, blah, blah. Right. Interesting story, told from a Westerner's perspective. And obviously it was a book first in the 70s. There was a show for it in the 80s. And then just recently they're doing this reboot, right? Which is probably, more fantasy in some elements and probably a little bit more accurate in others, as more modern interpretations tend to be.
Right.
So there was an article about it, and the guy was just like, "Where are all of the black people?" Like, where they were, not Japan.
Oh.
Bro, there were like 10 white people in Japan. What are you talking about?
What are you saying?
I think there was like 5 total black people in Japan between like 1200 and like 1870.
Will can't
Like-
laugh at this because
Wow.
Will doesn't think black people can be funny. He's of the opinion that they're physically
Ever
capable.
since that one Kevin Hart bit, I think they've hit their peak. When he said that bitch's long curly nipples,
Dude, ever
black
since
people
it was
have never been the same.
ever since the G.I. Jane reference, I haven't been able to laugh.
That was Chris Rock.
Yeah, I know, but it's still a black guy.
What are you trying to say? They all look the same?
Yeah, I was gonna say they're the exact same human being. They look almost identical.
Uh,
You're trying to tell me they don't? You're gonna
Is it-
lie to my
Chris
fucking
Rock.
face?
Is it weird to you the movie A Weekend at Bernie's?
I've never actually seen it. I know the
You know the
concept.
premise though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know the premise, but I've never seen it either. It's
Prop
just
up
like
a
is it a
dead
weird?
body.
Is it a strange premise to you?
I'd do it with you if you died.
Yeah. Would you take me to the bank?
I'd take you to all sorts of places, dude. I mean, like,
Try to withdraw my money?
no, I think I'd just take you around, try to get you a date. That'd probably be the funnest thing to do.
It'd be the funniest thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because two older ladies, decided to take their friend to the bank, whom was dead. So
Oh,
this
wow.
80-year-old guy had died, and his 2 live-in roommates decided to take him to the bank to withdraw money right from his
Mhm.
account. And supposedly, from what the cops said, they didn't do it. It didn't seem like they did it nefariously. Like
how do you not do that
Yeah.
nefariously?
They
Do
only-
explain.
they pulled out enough money to like pay bills, and like before the guy had died, they had like withdrawn money while he was there. You know, I
Mhm.
guess they were maybe acting as his guardians, perhaps.
There was caretakers,
Right.
perhaps.
Yeah. So like they probably needed to pay bills and didn't have access or whatever.
Okay, now his
But-
estate should pay off those bills.
Yeah, the
after
estate should
fact.
pay off. They still did wrong.
If they're not part of it, then they have nothing. They have
Eric,
no
that's
fucking
not
business
funny.
touching
Stop,
that money.
stop ruining the bit
But
with realism.
imagine-
What are you doing?
Just imagine being the bank teller. You're just sitting there,
Realizing that you're getting weekend at Bernie's.
2 old bitches come in with a body slumped.
Yeah, and you're like, wait a minute, this
It's
is like a
like-
movie, right? They've got like the giant sunglasses
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
The body's
God.
just completely limp. Like there's a loud snap of its neck.
They're
when its head
dragging his
drops.
feet.
Yeah. They've got him in a wheelchair.
Oh my God!
Every
Yeah.
time they slap him on the back, he just like flies over forward and just falls into the floor.
One of them's just like shaking him back and forth to
Yeah.
imitate talking.
Obviously, the answer is you say, "Well, ladies, I can clearly see what's going on here," and then you walk over to the door, and then you close it, and you turn around, you unzip your pants, and you say, "I don't think we're gonna have any problems." And then you take the corpse into the
he's
next
a
room.
banker, not a mortician, Eric.
Yeah.
And then you take the corpse into the next room, right?
Yeah,
You know?
of course. Do you think morticians do that a lot? Do you think that's like very,
I mean,
very
God,
common?
I hope not.
It's got to be.
It happens every now and again, and we jail them.
Okay.
I mean,
Common relative to morticians, yes. Like common just in general, no.
yeah, I mean, I imagine more morticians do it than people who are not morticians,
Yeah.
just because that's the in. That's
Is it
how
that
you get
wrong if you're a mortician and like some really
you're a
hot chick
if-
dies and
if
then you
you-
just jack off when you see their body and you're like, all right, she's hot.
there. Look,
Look,
bro,
here's
you can
where
go
the line
home and
is.
think about it
You're-
later, but no, you cannot.
Yeah, I was about to say, look, here's the line. Your job is to be to respectfully prepare this body for their family.
Right.
You jacking off on it or doing
Not on it, just
whatever.
Jacking
you,
off.
you
Presence.
performing a sexual act around it.
they're not gonna know.
It doesn't matter.
You can rape it without them knowing. That's not the point.
No,
It's
there'll
the
be
idea.
evidence.
It's the principle of it that people are getting mad about.
Not if you're the guy dressing up the body.
It's the principle of it that people are getting mad about.
Do you know
It's-
they put fucking...
It's the disrespect. Imagine if someone, I don't know.
It's the disrespect.
It's the disrespect. They're fucking your daughter.
The fucking body.
Okay, like on
but-
one hand, you're just fucking a clump of waste material after you die, and there's nothing
not
else matters.
sanitary.
I'm just
not
saying-
sanitary.
I'm saying if you
But,
Evangelion, the end of Evangelion it, you know, where they flop
Now you're
over
being
and they've got
disrespectful.
tits, and then you jack off, then you look at your hand and you say, I'm a piece of shit.
Now you're being respectful. Think you're a piece of shit
Yeah,
later.
No,
Just take a picture.
take a picture.
No, don't do
Go
that.
home. Yeah.
Also, don't do that.
You know what? Yeah, Will's right. Take a picture, go home, do it later.
Put it in a collection.
Yeah,
Put it
yeah.
in that collection.
Take her dead ass top off. Take a picture
Absolutely.
of them cold ass titties, and then go
She
jerk it
wouldn't
to
have
later.
a top. They're a
I'm-
mortician.
I'm
they're,
just
they're
saying-
naked
Lower
by
the sheet.
They're naked by default.
There's
Eric.
gotta
I don't
be.
know. Somebody has to take off the dead person's clothes. Who do you
their
think
nipples
does
get
that?
hard?
Do you think they fucking do that in the fucking ambulance on the way to the fucking morgue?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, the mortician does that. They're the one who handles the dead body.
When you get rigor mortis, do you get a boner?
Yes.
Oh, really?
No, what? No, you can't. Really? Because like there's
potentially.
no blood that's pumping there.
Well, one common thing is like when you hang yourself, you'll get a boner.
Well, I already knew that.
Well,
So
that's-
that didn't have anything to do with it.
That's
you can-
That's the fetish.
You
Not,
can-
not the death.
I've talked to EMTs before, and let me just tell you, he had a dude who they literally like put his and
My
he was a
bro has
corpse.
talked to an EMT before.
I have friends who were EMTs, but
What do you think?
hold on. They got him into the ambulance, right?
Fine.
And he was a
Eric.
straight up corpse.
Uh-huh.
They had to sew his face back together.
Yeah.
Okay, it was in two pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, and when they cut through his like shirt and everything, his dick came out and it was fucking hard as a rock, and he fucking came so hard he hit the ambulance ceiling.
Really?
Yes.
That fucking rules, dude. God, I hope
Yeah,
I die
something
that
in the
way.
process
Why
of
the
them
fuck was his face ripped off? And why'd they have to cut through
motorcycle accident.
That makes more
Uh,
sense.
That's why they were cutting through his clothes to
Yep,
figure
yep.
out where stuff was, and then they got in there, and the dick came out.
What are you gonna
And
do?
then
You got excited.
His dead body ejaculated super fucking hard.
That rules, dude. I
Like,
really hope that when
he
I
had
die, that
this
happens.
incredibly fucking gored out corpse have a huge boner and come with such force that hit the
That's why I
the
couldn't
ceiling
be-
of an ambulance.
I could not be an EMT, dude.
No,
I
it's
would-
the
I would
worst shit.
not want to see a meat crying for $12 an hour.
This is why people love this podcast, dude. This kind of content. EMT boner fucking coming at the top of
all
an
our
ambulance content.
EMTs in the chat. Sound off.
Oh my god.
We're a blood and cum
People
podcast
fucking
for
talk
sure.
about when I ask people like, why do you listen to this gay ass shit? Why do you listen to this terrible fucking garbage we create? People are just like, I like the chaos of it.
It's like, I appreciate that.
99% of the replies, it's like people being like, I don't know, I like how you jump to a different topic every 3 seconds. We can go from anything and all the way to EMT coming on the top of an ambulance from a corpse. I mean, like, it's
You
just
kind of said that wrong, but that would be a different story.
Well, I mean,
An EMT coming
yeah,
on the
that kind
ceiling
of goes
of
back
an
to
ambulance.
that kind of goes back to the mortuary
Yeah,
system.
that's that mortuary
They
problem.
did
we
get
were
charged
talking
with
earlier.
abuse of a corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just saying it wouldn't be that weird. I would not even be mad if I knew that the guy who was in charge of the mortuary, every time like a hot shit came in, he just kind of like jacked off
What if
into
it's
his
somebody
hand.
you knew though?
No, like if he just jacks off into his hand, like he's not jacking off on them.
He has
He's
a
not
cum jar.
defiling them. Yeah, he's got like a jar he does it into. He keeps it up on a shelf above all the rest of the dead body, so everybody gets to share it.
He puts the name of the dead body he jacked off to on the jar.
yeah,
and
he
he
should
should
jar
himself.
full of names.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't. I mean, like, I'd be like, of course he does that. He's the guy who deals with the dead bodies.
What if he used? What
Don't
if he put
slam the table excitedly.
What if he used the jar where they like drew names for like the office winnings, and then like someone draws it like, oh Jesus Christ, Jerry, why is it so sticky?
You think mortuary assistants have to like get a jar together? They put every dead body's name into it, shake it up, and then you have to pull a name and then jack off to that body.
That's no. That's how they haze the new guy.
That
how
was a
they-
little bit too much for Eric. Eric was like, "Oh fuck."
That's how they haze people. It's like, oh, you're the new guy. Here's the jar.
Yeah, here's the
Pull
jar.
out a name and go to that number in the locker room.
Yeah, you got to pull that one out, and you got to jack off to completion, dude.
Yeah, I think
No
in the South-
takesies, backsies, full on bust on the
Man
chest.
or woman.
Yeah, and then after you're done, you have to call us in there so we can look at it.
I think I would say in the South, generally speaking, that that's how everyone who works at the morgue gets shot, and sheriffs have a particularly oddly lazy time investigating it, and they can't find any suspects.
You know
Even
what's something
though
else
there's
that-
like shell casings on the ground and fingerprints everywhere, they just can't figure out who did it.
Yeah,
Okay,
can't-
something else that would be taboo and weird. Hunters, do you think they fuck the dead animals they kill?
Some do.
I've heard stories.
I mean, yeah.
Absolutely, I do think that happens.
I mean, I imagine most of them don't, but there's also...
I would imagine most of them do.
Much like a conversation we had a while back about people who have their first gay experiences hunting, I think it's impossible to tell because the kind of people who go out there to do it are never going to tell you.
That's true.
Like, because they're all like conservative redneck people. For the most part, obviously, there's a wide plethora of hunting types out there, but like generally
what did you just
speaking...
fucking say? Plethora?
Plethora.
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 Yeah, there you go.
Plethora.
Plethora.
Yeah, whatever.
I've got to say, I found new dignity and pride in myself. When I thought that I was completely lost and I thought that like the world was my oyster, that I'm a terrible human being, I have never once considered going out and going hunting and then fucking the animal after I killed it.
I thought you were going to say I
found
found Jesus.
It's kind of close, actually. They're very close together. But I've
Don't
never
fuck
once
animals that you
considered-
killed. Finding Jesus.
Never once considered that. I can say that with one absolute honesty.
The Whitest Kids
hand
You
to
Know
God.
made a bit about that.
Yeah, where he's
About
like fucking the
fucking
deer.
animals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think the
Was it a deer or was it a lamb?
deer. No, it's a deer.
Was
The
it?
doe is like yeah, come on, be all seductive.
Yeah.
And then I think a warden comes out and is like, hey!
And they catch him, and he's like, no, oh God.
I miss the Civil War on drugs. You can't fucking find that
I
online.
thought you were just gonna say I missed the Civil War. I was gonna say,
No.
yeah, I believe
Yeah,
you.
you and most CPAC.
Oh, my
the Civil
God.
War on drugs that they did was really funny.
Oh, politics hour. We haven't talked about politics. Eric, I know it's your favorite topic.
Politics.
It's politics hour.
Politics.
It looks like Trump and Biden are running against one another again.
Yeah, and Trump's daughter's now in charge of the RNC.
Yeah, but it looks like that's going to be the runoff this time. It's going to be Trump and Biden against one another. Do you think, realistically at the table, I want to get your thoughts, what do you think of the chances that Trump wins this time?
He's gonna win.
I think with the way he's been performing, despite what the polls say, the way he's been performing in his own primaries, which have not been good, he's already been proven that while he can do good in primaries, he often loses like the people he promotes in general elections. He often loses a lot to his opponents. He's a bad debater, so when he gets up to the national stage, we have shown in the moments that he can be lucid that Biden can be a decent debater. Where Trump has never been a good debater. He's only good when he's by himself and able to make fun of people in a room full of people who agree with him.
Here's the problem. The people who voted for Biden no longer have any faith whatsoever in him anymore.
No, I disagree. You look online, there are plenty of people who still support Biden.
You can tell Will
the
only gets on
loudest
Reddit.
people.
No, Reddit
Yeah.
hates Biden.
No, Reddit loves Biden.
No, dude, every post I see about Biden is people
Did you
going,
see the
I'll
fucking...
never vote Biden! He's killing the Palestinians!
Then you haven't fucking looked at the
Bro, I'm just
State of the Union address.
I'm just not voting. Like,
Really? You're not going to vote this time?
fuck no. The
Protest
choices are
votes.
going to be fucking Biden and fucking Trump, and I
I'm
don't
an
care for any
independent
of them.
voter. I vote for third parties almost every time. So,
No, I mean, if I'm going to throw away my vote, I might as well not waste my time, too.
in my opinion, if other people fucking threw away their vote, if things got bad enough, then the guy that I vote for might actually win.
Well, it's like in high school, every time we had any kind of election thing and they told us to put names down, I would just be like, oh, yeah,
Oh,
because
no.
it's really important to me who's class president because
Put
I
down
know what...
Harambe. I understand.
What's a
Nah.
class president even fucking do? I voted for Jar Jar Binks every election for everything. Every time.
Realistically, though, I think I'm with you, Will. I think like Trump lost to Biden once. Likelihood he'll
He
lose
lost
again's
a lot
pretty
of the,
high.
the people that he supported during the House and Senate primaries, they lost their
You honestly
elections.
think that Biden's gonna get a second term?
Yes,
the
absolutely, I do actually.
The presidential incumbent in elections has like a 75% win rate by default every time.
Plus,
if
if you-
somebody runs for president and they're already president,
Yeah,
they
but
have a 75% win
Plus,
rate.
literally, seriously, and you're not going to believe this from the get-go, but seriously, anyone listening to this, just go look at this up. Look at all the promises Biden made. Aside from the ones where Republicans have literally blocked him in the House and the Senate, he's done his damned best to fulfill them.
That doesn't mean that anybody will vote for him.
No, but
Yeah,
I
this
think
is a
that the
popularity
information should be out
contest,
there.
not
Yeah,
a
I'm with
factual
Eric.
debate.
People don't care what he's done. They
Yeah.
really don't.
No, I don't
That's
disagree,
not what
but I
gets
think
votes.
people should. I think the information that is there should be there.
the people I know who were fence sitters no longer care about Biden. Like the people who could be convinced otherwise don't care for Biden
Well,
anymore.
then you should put it
And
this
the
way.
only
It's
way that
either
the Democratic Party is going to get a win is if they put someone other than Biden up against Trump.
They
well,
haven't. They
That's
already put
funny
Biden
I know.
because
It's
even in
done.
the primaries,
They're
the
gonna lose.
Democratic primaries where there have been people running against Biden, Biden has consistently won like 80 to 90% of the votes.
Yeah,
I
it's
hated
because he's
Trump,
the
dude,
incumbent.
but I have no faith in Biden.
You might not have faith in Biden, but Biden, like by all accounts, Biden is going to do just fine.
Well,
No,
he's the incumbent.
I promise you he's not. He barely won last time,
Oh,
dude.
hold on, Eric. Okay, well,
Like-
okay, that's fine. But what journalists are telling you this?
None.
Okay, well,
Listening to analysts is
I'm
retarded.
listening to Brian Taylor Conan, Bo the Fifth Column, fucking CNN, NBC News, fucking looking at the polls. What do you mean?
God damn, do you only listen to Democrat-run fucking liberal-ass leftist propaganda?
Yeah, because if I listen to Republicans, they go kill the gays, kill the trans people.
Yeah, but
I don't
yeah,
wanna
but
listen
you're in a
to
fucking
it.
echo chamber.
Yeah, but you're
Of
basically
course the
living in an
Democrats
echo
say
chamber.
that Biden has a good chance.
Exactly.
That's what they fucking want.
Everything
Yeah,
you
and-
said was like a liberal
And all the
leftist leaning
Republicans
thing.
say is Biden's not going to win. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. Everyone,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking through the middle.
Yeah, he's
I'm
listening
telling
to
you,
both.
the
yeah,
people
but
who
essentially
don't
all
care
you're gonna
about
do by
Republicans
throwing
or
away your vote
Democrats-
is
The people like me who are not Democrats or Republicans aren't voting this time.
but-
I voted for Biden. I'm not voting for him again.
yeah, but
Did you
that's
vote for Trump?
essentially giving.
I did.
I voted for Trump the first time.
I voted for Trump the first
I
time.
love family members who voted for Trump.
But
I'm fine with
throwing
that.
your vote by not voting, by just doing a protest vote, you're essentially just giving the Republican vote.
Look, bro, my life is chaotic enough right now.
Right,
If I
and
want to be an informed voter, then I'm going to have to put fucking time aside in my day that I don't have to figure out who's fucking what.
That is a
So
strange part of our
unfortunately,
democratic system these
That
days. The
seems
amount of
reason
so
work it
why-
takes.
anti-democratic, dude.
The most important voting that I could be doing is local elections.
How
and
could-
I know nothing about the local politicians.
Well, how could you possibly
I'm gonna
say
run for
I
local
don't
politics.
How could you
And-
possibly say I don't have time when being part of this democracy, when being part of politics, and when being part of something that affects your daily life to the most possible nth degree is one of the most important things you could be doing in your life. How could you not find something else to disregard to somehow be more informed about politics? I don't, and this is for anyone who just doesn't pay attention to politics. I
Because I'm
truly
jaded.
don't understand.
I'm jaded.
Yeah,
it just
also,
feels like
it
a
doesn't
waste of
affect
time
your
to me.
life to like an
I
nth
believe
degree.
Literally
that-
every law that they make is going to affect your
it
life in
doesn't.
some way.
I
No,
vote.
that's gay and
I
stupid.
vote
and dumb.
every like 3 or 4 elections when I feel strongly enough about it. The rest of the time, I just believe that the natural forces are going to force things to a somewhat central path, and it'll ebb and flow, and the pendulum will swing one way and then the other. And I feel like there are places where we become too liberal, and there are places where we refuse to change and be progressive. I also feel like it's fine for some people to be way more conservative than others to a certain extent. It's fine to live your life different ways in the United States. That's one of the good things about us is we can have that diversity of
The
thoughts and
problem
feelings.
is that the conservatives that people have a problem with don't want other people to live their lives in other
Well,
ways.
so do the fucking liberals people have so many problems with, okay?
Name one.
But they don't want people to be MAGA. That's one.
Yeah, because MAGA are fascist.
They're
Well,
not.
yeah,
they
but
are.
the
They're
left
Christo-fascist.
No, Reagan ran on MAGA. His
No,
literal,
Reagan never
literal
literally-
fucking his slogan was "Make America Great Again."
MAGA is Trumpism.
MAGA
now.
is
Okay,
Republican.
but we are talking about the now. We're
voting.
not talking about Reagan. Reagan's dead.
Reagan's ghost will guide us.
No,
He
but
is right
Reagan's
now.
dead. We're not talking about Reagan's politics. That's dead. We're talking about Trumpism.
No, people only like Trump because they think he's the second coming of Reagan.
Yeah,
I mean, to a
and
certain
he's
extent,
not.
maybe.
And
He is to a certain extent, but he's
He's
also
Hollywood
a worst
famous and,
fucking
like-
leader.
yeah, he's
He's
an
a
actual
fucking-
dictator.
He's not. He's
He
never
is.
been a
He's a
dictator.
He literally
No.
said, "I would be dictator on day one of being back in the
And
office."
he can't do that because that's illegal and it
Read
would
Project
never work.
2025.
It would never fucking work.
Project 2025 is a Heritage Foundation thing that as soon as Trump gets in office, they're putting into play.
And he
It's
would-
a 900-page document. You're free to read it.
and he would never get it past
Well,
Congress.
there's another 900-page document that Obama fucking made, and
What's that called?
Congress wouldn't even fucking read it because Congress doesn't do their jobs. Like we pay them to do whatever the fuck
If you're
they
talking
want,
about
even though they
Obamacare,
have
that
a
is not
job
equivalent to at all what I'm talking about.
I mean,
Obamacare
it's
was
some
giving
random-
health care to everyone. Project 2025 is replacing key critical parts
So-
of our government.
So you think that
And
our
making it
government
more-
will
is-
vote for a dictator quicker than they'll vote for better hospitals?
Our government's
I
not
mean,
going to do jack
Honestly,
shit.
now that I say that out loud.
Yeah, that's dumb, Eric. Of
Yes,
course they will.
Our government are a bunch of capitalists. Yes, I do think they would do that. Help the poor? Fuck that. I could have a dictator.
Well, remember, they have to at least put up the facade that they are doing stuff for the
Well,
people.
I
Now,
will
the
say
trick
this,
is,
at
how
least-
stupid are the people, and how well can you trick them into thinking that what you're doing is good for
Well,
them?
even if they are doing that, and I want to point this out, that this is a both sides argument, which is not, it was so far from the truth at this point because of what, if you just look at Republicans. The issue is, at least Democrats are acting like they give a shit about me. Republicans don't even pretend anymore. They were literally just talking about raising the fucking taxes and lowering taxes on corporations.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did you watch the State of the Union address?
Yes. Well,
Yeah. So the thing that I found the most appalling about the State of the Union address was how partisan it was. In
Carson,
general,
the first thing he said was like, we need to be together. We need to, like, this is a place to,
and then constantly shit on things that the Republicans were voting for and trying to get through.
because
and
they've
then-
been assholes.
No, practically any time that you look at something, if Biden says something and then the dude behind him is in charge of the Republicans, shakes his head or like raises his eyebrows, you can tell he's lying. But that's the way that it works for every president with every State of the Union address. But you can look at
Okay.
that guy and then be like, oh, okay, I can see where like the difference lies in either opinion or he's straight up lying.
I think
Okay,
the problem
so
is here
with,
that there's
with
not
that,
a clear
then, tell
objective.
me the last time a Democrat interrupted a Republican president giving a speech. Because during the entire time Joe Biden was giving his speech, he was getting interrupted by like Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay.
Well, so like you're like, oh,
I'm not
they're the
saying
same, they're the same.
Republicans-
What does
Like,
that
They're
have
more
to do with...
bombastic
That
than
Republicans are
Democrats.
fucking assholes who are doing everything they can to,
Or Marjorie Taylor Greene is a bitch and a crazy person.
and she's
I
a
wouldn't
big
call
representation
Republicans-
of the MAGA movement.
She is not.
Yes, she is. She's
an
one of the
insane
biggest
lady.
MAGA members.
Yeah, but she's not a good
she
representation of
dressed
Republicans.
all in MAGA
Not-
gear on the
But
State
she's
of the
not
Union.
a good representation of Republicans.
She is right now.
No,
Yes.
she's not.
Yes,
she's
she
a
is.
crazy person.
She's one of the most outspoken Republicans in their party
That
right
doesn't
now.
make her a good
furthest
Republican.
extreme-
What's the cheapest you'd suck a dick?
You've already asked it. You've asked
No,
this like
I've
every
never-
two.
no, never generic
you asked
question.
this every 3 fucking podcasts, dude.
It's hard
I
to
swear
say.
to
It
God.
really is hard to say because it would depend on how down and out I am.
I'm just saying.
Because
the
I mean, if I'm
completion
starving,
right now,
$5 will
in
get
your
me a
life.
sandwich. I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. In your life right now, cheapest you'd suck a dick for.
Cheapest I'd suck a dick for. Well, not too desperate right now. So it would have to be a pretty good boon.
Say
Since it's not something I would
$1,000,
want. Oh no, more than that.
$3,000.
You
I wanna-
expensive whore.
I would like to put it up at least one more decimal point, but no more than 10.
$10,000.
Hey, look, you want
expensive
this?
whore.
Where's my checkbook?
Okay, like you want this. I'm just saying, like, you
Here
know.
I am being cheap. I was like, $100.
$100. You'd suck a dick for $100?
Bro, I have
You're
said multiple
straight, dude.
times on this podcast that I am only 99.9% straight, and I'm valuing
10,000
it
seems
more
like a
than
lot,
that.
though. It's just
Yeah,
well,
you're
yeah,
like
because
me
I
with
don't
killing
wanna
a
do
child
it.
for $8,000. You want to be like a reasonable whore.
I'm just saying I don't want to do it. So if you want this straight man who is not a dick sucker to suck your dick, you're going to have to pay more than normal.
Well, it's like I'm a
Be reasonable.
leftist.
I'm not a fucking whore.
I gotta
So
do
you're
it for
gonna have to
cheap.
pay
I gotta do it for the
over whore
comrades.
prices.
it's got to be an ally.
Yeah.
You have to pay over whore prices to get a non-whore to suck your dick.
How did the fucking
You have
communists
to
in Russia
convince
feel
me.
about gays?
They
They
killed them.
hated them,
Back
right?
in the day, yeah, they
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
didn't
they
like
hated
them.
They
them,
put them
right?
in gulags and shit.
Actually,
Yeah.
funnily enough, there was
Like,
I've
or
read
they
about.
blackmail them.
I can't
so
remember
that
his
they
name
can,
because it's Russian,
get
but
government
there
stuff.
was a communist thinker at the time who said that they shouldn't kill the gays or whatever.
And they killed that guy, right?
I don't know if he ever got gulagged, but he was a thinker before his time.
I mean,
Did you say they blackmailed him?
I guess since Russia's still like firmly anti-gay,
Yeah, they
you
are
could be a
hard
pro-gay
anti-gay.
Russian right now and be a thinker before your time.
Yeah.
Lesbians
because their
specifically.
time still ain't come up yet.
I think lesbians specifically have it worse.
That seems so weird because straight men who are usually the biggest anti-gay
Last
people are
I-
generally
and
softer
granted,
on lesbians than
this
they
is-
are gay men.
This has been a very long time now, but last I heard they had and this was before the Ukraine war. They had a protest,
Mhm.
and a lot of lesbian protesters got super.
Yeah, they got
arrested.
like
Oh, I
beat up
remember
and shit
this.
in the streets. Yeah, I remember seeing
Yeah.
that. That was fucked up.
There was Pussy Riot played. That was the name of the band. Is a
Yeah.
punk band called Pussy Riot that played at that show, and they all got arrested.
Yeah, no, Russia treated them very terribly.
Yeah, they
they're
got put in
very
the
mean
fucking
to the
gulag.
gays.
Yeah.
I disapprove of Russia's attitude
You
towards.
said black male, but
gay.
what about black female?
What did I say? Black male to?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Patrick,
Black.
cut that out.
Black-
Stop.
Why would
Eric,
I have a
shut
bad
up.
opinion
Stop.
of black
no,
females?
Stop it, Eric.
I
just
dated
not-
a black woman for
Eric,
7 years. I mean,
Stop it right now!
What is with this thing about black people and
Yeah, you always-
separating them out from other like
You always
groups
bring
here?
them up.
You say that a lot, man. Like,
What'd you
is
say,
there-
Eric?
Is there like a thing there? Like,
What'd you say?
black people?
Yeah, Patrick, use that however you want.
Beep it out. Beep it out right now.
It's gonna be one of those like things. Where it's like, I hate black people.
You heard it here first, people. He said it. He said it. He finally admitted it. Like,
I don't know.
We've broken through. He
It really
belongs to
depends
that
on-
subsection of gay racist people, which never made sense. Just like black people who hate gays, I'm just like, look, I know it's a bit of an apples to oranges argument, but isn't society doing a different flavored version of the same thing to gays that they did to blacks? Like, why is there not a little bit of crossover
it's a different
there?
flavor, but it's a little bit
It's
more
a very
fruity.
different
it's a
flavor.
fruitier flavor.
It's
You
a
know
much fruitier flavor,
Yeah.
but it's like, how are you just going to
Less-
join in the discrimination of a different minority?
less cocoa chocolate flavor, more fruity.
Kind of feels like Israel doing a Holocaust, if you catch my drift there, where it's just like, oh yeah, now it's our turn to be racist to somebody else.
They'd never
Top
do
like,
that.
You know,
Hey, going back to like I only listen to leftist.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that before I became a leftist, I did listen to people like Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson,
I'm sorry.
those kinds of people. At one point, I'd listen to Andrew Tate, but I never liked Andrew Tate. That dude's an asshole.
yeah, he seems insufferable.
He's a sex trafficker.
I've never really been able to listen to him talk for an extended period of time.
Right wing people seem to be more like concerned about like masculinity and how like strong and cool you can be in the eyes of other men, and then left leaning people seem to be more concerned about how much good you can do without ever actually putting any thought into the like pragmatic bureaucracy of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
they're the kind of person. A leftist is the kind of person who's more enthusiastic to help than they are actually helpful.
yeah,
and
they
the
can't come up with
Republican
any
could
ways
do
to
more
it.
help, but doesn't want to.
Exactly.
And
yeah.
like, so I don't know.
goddamn based
I
Eric.
guess you could argue that the leftist was at least trying to be a good person, whereas the Republican stopped caring as long as it kept making him money.
You're damn right.
Like, it's not like there isn't any fucking merit to what you're saying. I'm just saying you're being way too black and white
All
about
right, but look,
getting
Eric, look at where
brainwashed
I
by
am.
the
Look at my
left.
situation. I'm on a fucking dipshit podcast. Like, I'm not going to be nuanced here. I'm not fucking Brian Taylor Conan. all
I'm
right?
just saying-
I'm not going to be the most
He
nuanced
slept with
take.
5 gay black men this week.
I'm
If
an
you
ally,
think-
all right?
If you think cutting off your left hand is somehow different from cutting off your right hand, you're retarded. Like, if you fall into extremist on either side,
I think
then
one
you have
side the
lost-
KKK votes for and one side they don't.
Which is a strange way to look at it, because I guarantee you
I'm
that
just
some
saying there's-
extremist fuckfaces voted for Stalin and Lenin and every other good
I'll be honest, I
person.
don't
Every
think
other
anyone voted for
literal
Stalin.
monster.
I don't think a single person voted for Stalin.
I
That's fair,
guarantee you
but-
a monster voted for Obama. I guarantee you at least
I'm sure.
one
I'm sure
fucking-
there's you can find a child predator who was like, I voted
Exactly.
for Obama.
I'm
He's
sure there
gonna
are
let
plenty
me
of
fuck kids.
There
I'm
are plenty
sure.
of Republicans out there who would be perfectly happy fucking capping
Look-
a KKK or Nazi motherfucker in the face.
yeah,
I've met
I'm not
them.
saying they're not. I'm just saying they're not in leadership power.
Well, not everyone on the left is
Some
a
of them
fucking
are.
bleeding heart retard who doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about all the time. Some of them
They're not all
genuinely
Bernie
fucking
Sanders.
do stuff.
But I am saying some of those people are in power.
On both sides. Stop. I mean, look, I dislike Republicans more than I dislike
look,
Democrats.
here's the thing, here's the
I'm
thing.
not gonna lie.
No, here's the thing.
But that doesn't mean that one's objectively better or worse than the other.
Well, it can when you can objectively point out their flaws. But we're not going to get into it. Here's the thing. Is at least with the leftists, or at least with the Democrats, they pretend to care about me.
Yeah, I feel like that's how a lot of people feel. A lot of people feel like, oh, well, at least
Yeah.
they pretend.
Like,
It's
if
a
my
matter-
government is not going to give a shit, I'd at least like them to put on airs.
Yeah.
Republicans get more results out of the shit they try to do.
Well, Republicans pretend to care about rich people.
Well, they
Like,
don't. They don't.
And
If
then
you
Democrats pretend to care about poor
look
people.
at
They visually-
look at this year. This
They
last.
appear to be getting more done.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Like, and that's
I was
public
about to
appearance
say,
is
look
more
at the last
important.
3 years. They've gotten nothing done.
Look, we're talking about politics here, not reality. I'm serious. Like,
Hell
you know,
yeah.
No,
Patrick, put a
politics is
Vine
not
boom behind
fucking
that.
reality. Politics is a fucking popularity contest where the most people you convince is who wins.
That's how
not
Trump
the person
won the
who's
fucking
correct.
presidency.
The person who convinces you he's correct.
Is this a good
Not even
episode?
that.
Can we use
Trump
this
lost the
episode?
popular
That's
election.
why I don't vote.
You already
like-
said that as long as it's something and we're not
Trump's winning the next
insulting,
election.
it's fine.
Is this not
Money down,
insulting?
boys.
To who?
I will
To me.
I will
Are you
put money
insulted?
down. Since when are you politically fucking sensitive?
Right?
Literally
How about you
couldn't care.
grow some? How about you grow a cock, you vagina?
I say we install a king. I say feudalism. We go straight back to the open
Take it
field
back.
system. Get the KKK
God
in
damn
here.
it! I'm just now seeing the fracturing of capitalism. Please, let's not go take it. Let's not roll the clock back.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm 100% on your side when it's just like, well, you know, I'm not going to vote for Trump because I know who the fucking Nazis and the KKK are voting for this year. Yeah,
Really? That's
sure.
not the reason I don't
got
vote for
you.
Trump.
Like, that's one good reason. Like, that's a semi-good reason. Even though there's more nuance to it than that, that's not terrible. I get it. That's reasonable. I don't want to vote the same way a Nazi or a fucking KKK member would either. You know, but
Stop
at the
saying
end
you
of
know.
the day,
You
the
said it 5 times in the last 30 seconds.
the reason why we can't find a middle ground is because people on either side have to say the loudest, most outrageous thing that'll get. It's like clickbait, man.
He's right.
Politics is clickbait.
Oh, what?
The more
Something
you
else
say, like,
capitalism is ruined. To tell me more.
3-year-olds should have access to hormone therapy. Gets you way more clicks
What's
than
that?
saying that, like, something like, you know, oh, we should pay attention to doctors.
What's
and,
that,
like,
Eric?
you know,
The
wait,
commodification of our
blah, blah, blah.
politics and news has made it to, or the capitalization of our politics and news has made it to where only what bleeds leads, and that's what sells through click rates and viewership.
That's how
no,
Hitler got
capitalism
elected.
has ruined something else. You can't tell me that's not true.
Oh,
was
and
Nazi
you
Germany
think,
capitalist?
No, wait. And you think that capitalism hasn't ruined the Democratic Party?
Oh, I know it has. I'm not a Democrat.
God
by
damn
a
it
long
has.
shot.
Then I'm
Eric.
just
Do not
saying-
get me, Eric, don't get me confused. I'm not a Democrat.
You're
What
talking
are
about
you?
the same rich,
I'm gonna
corrupt,
copy this all over you, Brad.
like, dude, like the same rich, corrupt rapists are over there, and some of them just have blue shirts on as opposed to red shirts.
Yeah,
man.
but one said he'd be a
Like-
dictator day one,
yeah, the other one feels the same. He just doesn't say it that
but he's
way.
not going to be a dictator.
He might if he could get away with it.
Yeah, if he could get away with it, he damn sure would.
These are not better humans on the other side, dude. They're
I'm
the
not
same
saying
ones
that.
who have to act like they're going to do something different.
And I'm saying at least
the
they're
Republicans
acting.
have to still
No, if I had
act
it
like
my way,
their
dude,
conservative base.
the CPA would be the ones in charge if I had it my fucking way, or the DSA.
It would destroy our country.
I disagree.
It would destroy our
Completely
country.
This whole
disagree.
country is completely fucked in bureaucracy right now. We're going the way of the Roman Empire. There's a decent chance a strong leader is going to take over at some point, like what Patrick keeps saying.
Like I said,
I mean, whether it ends up being, hopefully not Trump, but, you know,
an autocrat will take charge in the next 100 years. Mark my fucking words.
it's not entirely impossible.
It's
I
not
could see
even
it
that
happen.
crazy. It's absolutely what will happen.
Because our fucking, you know, the bureaucracy has gone to complete shit. Like, we can't get shit done anymore. We're
can't
not
work
making
together.
good decisions.
That's
You
true.
know,
that's why I didn't like the State of the Union
if
address.
we pass one law, the next law getting passed is going to be the other side undoing that law, and we're just going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, making no progress because no one can agree on things. And then eventually, one side or the other is going to completely dominate.
Biden said a lot
And
of
it
things
will
in the
be
State of the
bad.
Union address I agreed with. I really liked his address and a lot of the things he said. What I didn't like was his inability to work with other people and his constant
He
prodding
can't-
at the other
hold on,
side.
But hold on. You can. I so disagree that he cannot prod them when all they've been doing for the last 3 fucking years have been doing nothing but blocking his like fucking things. You want to say he has to work with them? How they fucking work with him?
It's
Yeah,
a
thank
non-Jesus
God.
thing,
They've
dude.
done
Thank God there's no precedent whatsoever
They've-
for anyone trying to be the bigger man. Remember,
He's
the way to
tried.
do it
He's
is
the
to be
very-
more petty and to
The
keep
very
matching the
first
pettiness.
thing Biden did was ask for Republicans to work with him when he became the goddamn president. He said, I will work with you. If you just come to me and we talk, we can work together. And you know what they did? They didn't do it. For 3 years, they've done nothing but stall the government, try to replace people with their people to, vote their stupid ass policies.
Do you think that when the Democrats said that they expected the Republicans to respond to it, or do you think that they said that knowing that would make
My
them
God,
sound
dude,
good?
How many times are you just going to be like, well, the Democrats would just do the same things as Republicans when they
Also-
haven't?
Also,
They're
it sounds like he's a
humans.
bad
Rich
leader.
humans
then.
with lots of power.
Huh?
Also, that makes him a bad leader.
Oh my God!
A
what do
good
you-
leader
what
would
do
be
you-
able to force the other side to work with him physically.
What do you, Patrick? What do you want?
I want an autocrat. I want somebody who dominates
Like, you're
both parties.
absolutely driving me insane with this whole. He has to work with the other side.
Not work with the other side. I want him to dominate
but he
the other
can't
side.
work with the other side because that makes him look like a pussy.
I will
No.
say this one point, and I think that this is probably worth noting. It's potentially possible that a secretary, a truckloader, and a ship scraper might not be the most qualified people to solve American problems.
Yeah, perhaps. I just want somebody
Not
who
true.
is
Power to the
does,
people and
like,
power to the workers.
I want somebody
Paperwork and
who's
tech work,
bipartisan.
and then, you work at
Let
a
the
warehouse.
workers run this country. How about it?
I want a bipartisan
scrape shit
leader
off of things,
who is
you know.
strong, who can dominate both parties simultaneously. I think it's possible that they exist. I don't think that either Trump nor Biden are it.
No.
And I think that the closest thing we ever got in history was JFK, and I think they shot him immediately.
JFK was a fucking stupid warmongering Irish sex addict. What the
Yeah,
fuck are you
but he
talking
also
about?
was- he also
warmongering.
had
He
this-
literally
He
did
fucking-
the
did
Cuban
you-
Missile Crisis to stop a war.
Dude, you know, he wanted to increase the missile gap. That was how he ran. He ran on the
Every
platform of
president during
increasing
the
the missile
50s
gap.
was like, let's raise the missile gap. What are
yes,
you
he was
talking
a
about?
warmonger.
All of the presidents are warmongers. What are you talking about? We've never been.
Then what are you arguing?
I'm arguing that he's not as much of a warmonger as, say, Andrew Jackson, who literally.
Okay, yeah, let's compare him to a
we
fucking
be-
Civil War general. That's fair.
Well, he
No,
wasn't.
Andrew Jackson is the most warmongery out of all of us.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
okay,
for-
well, first
like,
of all, America
obviously.
hasn't known peace, but for 70 years of our 300-year existence.
God damn, you're
So,
damn
you know,
right.
if you want to be,
Preach.
let's
War's
be
profitable,
relative,
bro.
Let's be relative at least. I mean, if we want to make the most pacifist president, ironically enough,
Jimmy Carter.
Eisenhower
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy
Carter.
had the longest run of peace.
Jimmy Carter was a fucking baller, and all he wanted to do was run on his peanuts.
Jimmy Carter had the Iranian hostage crisis.
Yeah, but I mean, that wasn't a war. That was just a thing that he fumbled.
Maybe, but Eisenhower.
did he
never,
fumble it?
And I think the reason he fumbled it was because he sucked at being a warmonger.
Well, he didn't even
ironically.
fumble it because I think the moment Bush got in, they let them go.
No, he was just like, he didn't want to be hard on them. Basically, he didn't want to send in SEAL Team 6 to deal with it.
No,
and
there
then-
was a SEAL team that got sent in, but that was before our
Yeah, he
long
just
stint
didn't
in the Desert Warfare Department. And so the first helicopters we sent in literally got clogged up with sand and crashed.
Yeah.
We were
He
super
was such a
unprepared
shitty
for that hostage
warmonger
situation.
that he was a great president. Also, I mean, just bipartisan leaders in general. I mean, I don't know. Who was the most bipartisan leader we've ever had?
George W. Bush.
George Washington?
George W. Bush.
George
Get the
W.
fuck
Bush.
out of here.
No, and I mean that not in like the entire
Actually, you know what? He
span,
might be right because
but
Well,
George
one
W.
time
Bush.
He had 91% approval.
Yes.
yeah.
He
might actually be right
that
now
was
thinking about it.
George
there was
Washington
a
has to
moment.
be.
George Washington, people did like him so much they literally wanted to elect him a
They
third
made
term.
him president. Like,
Yeah.
he didn't
Yeah.
even want it. He just got made president.
Is it time yet? It's time. I've got to pee. We're ending the podcast.
God
Bye,
damn it,
everybody.
quit
This has been
peeing. Quit
AnythingCast.
peeing.
My name is-
Stop peeing!
Stop!
Piece of
Stop!
shit bucket! Piece of shit!
It's why is it cold?